In order to see if we've grown, in order to see if we function properly, we have to go through tests. And people are going to test us. Life is going to test us. God is going to take us through tests in order to see if we function properly. I feel like I'm getting a little bit frustrated because this is not the truth. It's time to We are not in bondage. We are not people who are ashamed and broken. We are people who literally are free.
Hello, beautiful people. This is episode 1 of Reality Tunnel Vision, and I'm super excited about launching my podcast. I've been waiting to do this for so long, and now it's finally here. And to celebrate this first podcast adventure, I have with me two of my favorite people. Drum roll. My mother and my baby brother. So today's podcast is going to be a little bit interesting because I have them here for support. So you may not hear them, may not see them, but they right here. And they're going to be helping me out a little bit. We're just going to have a little conversation about this first episode, how we got here, and hopefully they will give a little bit of input, help me out a little bit. What y'all think?
Yeah, we're down. We're ready.
Okay, I'm excited. So, on today's episode, but before we even start that, I just want to introduce the episode by telling y'all how we even got here. So, my family is being a little distracting. I just want to tell y'all that before this even started, I had this vision in my head, this dream of me speaking to people. I used to do videos all the time on Facebook if you want to go check those out. But I just love speaking. I love telling people what I'm feeling. I love just expressing myself, and sometimes it's the unpopular opinion, but to me, that's okay. It's okay to be a conversation starter, to talk about the hard things and to challenge people around me. And I'm always the talker in my friend group, so why not share it with the world? So to get to this point, I had every thought in my mind, I don't have the resources to do this. I don't know where I'm going to do this. I don't have the mic. I don't know anything about audio, visuals, anything like that. But I really just stepped out on faith, did what I had to do. And now here we are with our lovely set, our production. And it was with the help of my family. My family really came alongside me and pulled this together. And I'm so excited because it's truly genuine. Nothing about this podcast is going to be perfect, but I'm just thankful to have people who believe in me, who can sit down, discuss what we're going to talk about, sit with me right here, not being seen on camera, but supporting me the whole way through. And I just appreciate that. So love y'all. Love you, Ma.
Love you,
Zay. So let's get started. For your first reality check, episode 1, let's just jump right in. Let's dive in. Your first reality check is called Working While Waiting. Working while waiting. I feel like a lot of times we don't know what we should do in this process of waiting. Some of us are impatient, me. Some of us are frustrated with God, with people around us, with the timing of things. We're frustrated with how things are going. But at the end of the day, what are we doing during this waiting process? What are you waiting for in life, and how are you responding to that? So I want to hit on those topics today. So with the help of my family, I think we can just have a slight conversation about what that looks like, maybe some experiences in your life, and go from there. Y'all ready?
Ready.
Okay. So me personally, I would say that my personal process of waiting, I can tend to beat myself up a lot because I know that I'm supposed to be patient, and I know that I'm supposed to like trust God and he's going to handle it. And it always happens. Even if I've seen God come through time and time and time again, when something comes up that I'm supposed to be waiting on, I still am like, okay, God, come on. When you gonna give me this money? When you gonna provide? When you gonna open that door for me? And I'm like, Jordan, you know how you're supposed to respond to that. You know that he's come through time and time again, yet you're still frustrated. And I believe a lot of us do that. I mean, we're all human. We all experience that. And I personally think God is upset with us? No, but I do think he's like, come on now. I've done it before. Get yourself together. It's time to recognize who your daddy is.
Right.
It's time to feel that. So, you know, I really am working on being patient and what that looks like. I had to learn that when I'm waiting for myself, I have to be intentional about who I'm surrounding myself with, first of all, because you can't be surrounded by people that are enabling your impatience. If you're surrounded by friends and family who's like questioning, when is that gonna happen? What are you waiting on? What are you doing? Like, you're gonna feel discouraged, because even though you said in your heart that you're fine with waiting, that you're fine with being patient, that you know it's gonna come, if people around you are enabling your impatience, then you're gonna feel like you're not getting anywhere and the waiting process is pointless. So for me personally, I love getting encouragement from people and people speaking into me and saying, you know what, that is coming. Even those days where I feel discouraged, I know that they have my back and they're gonna pick me up. So sometimes you have to be that for people. And I mean, for a lot of us, some people wait on people to understand, people in your life that you're just waiting to get the point. Like, can you get the point? Can you understand what I'm trying to tell you? Can you understand me? Maybe you're in a relationship and the other person is just not getting it. The other person, you want them to change and you want to see results so fast, but they're not changing. One thing that helped me is understanding that people are not perfect and they're going to change on their own time. In the same way God was intentional with your life, he can be intentional with their lives. So you have to trust the process. For you, it might take 10 years to understand something, but for them, it might take 60. And that's a tough pill to swallow, but they're not perfect and their story is their story and they're going to go through it on their own journey. And if you weigh that responsibility on yourself for them to wake up and get it, then you will always feel like a failure because you're putting that role of God on yourself. And that's not your place. So, I mean, it's going to be hard, especially when you're surrounded by people who you think should understand, you know, but
faithless, people that are faithless.
Yeah. Yes. That's one thing that really rubs me the wrong way. Like I'm a super faith-built person. Like, I'm like, I believe that's going to happen. Like, I know it is. And then those people around you just aren't as enthusiastic about faith and like seeing things come to pass, and you're like, man, come on, like, right. Don't be a Debbie Downer, be with me, you know, come alongside me, like, dream big with me, like, right. But that's also those person's insecurities, right. And that we have to recognize. Some people aren't as mature as we are, mm-hmm. And so, like I said, they're imperfect. We can't wait on them to hit their breakthrough. What are we doing in the process? We have to be able to motivate them, help them, you know. Right. But I also believe that we're in a day and age, especially coming out of quarantine, where everybody was like, if you don't come out of quarantine with another business idea or another plan or something, or writing a book or things like that, then what did you even do? And a part of that is like, you know, people are going to grow and do things on their own time. But also it's kind of true. It's like you have so much opportunity to step out and do the things that you want to do, right? Like, if you have a vision, if you have a dream for something, you have a want for something, don't wait always until you get the resources to do it. I built this whole set for free. Like, well... except for my microphone. Cha-ching. Yeah, that was a little pricey, but it was worth it. You know what I mean? But like, Don't wait until you get all the resources to be able to do what you feel like you're called to do. Like, do it now. What are you doing in this time of waiting? Are you sitting there scared and fearful that somebody is gonna have that idea already or do it better than you? Or are you saying, I have a dope idea too. I'm gonna go for it just as hard. Even if thousands of people are doing it, I'm literally going to take one foot in front of the other and do it my own way, because I was built to do this too.
Competition is healthy.
Competition is healthy.
Right.
I love that. Like, competition is truly healthy. Like, don't be fearful of it. Like, walk into it. Like, it's good to have other people that may be doing similar things, because somebody is watching them, but somebody also needs you.
Right.
And certain platforms are waiting on you. And I hear a lot of people say, like, when I get this platform, I'm going to tell everybody about this. I'm going to be able to do so much for the community when I get enough money. I'm going to be able to serve everybody and just give out this when I finally make it. And it's like, what are you doing right now? Are you sitting in this moment of waiting with, with like frustration or pity or just complacency in your heart, like, or ungratefulness, like complaining about the things that you don't have? Or are you expecting the best? Like, I feel like God is like looking at our hearts in the seasons where we have nothing. Like, how are you responding to that? Because when you get to a certain platform, if you wait until you get to a certain platform and have enough resources to do everything, by the time you get there, you're going to look to the right and to the left, and you're going to see somebody have something better than you, and you're going to want that and not focus on yourself. So it's always going to be like this comparison thing. There's always going to be, you may always feel like you have something that you lack, but we have enough to do anything we want to do. Like, he can literally turn a small mic with some plants and a backdrop into me speaking on stage in front of millions of people. And I am expecting that one day. Trust and believe that this is not the end. This is only the beginning. And so I had to start now. I cannot wait till thousands of people know me before I start a podcast. I'm going to do it even if 2 people listen. And because in my waiting process, I'm having fun waiting. I'm not moping around waiting or waiting with what am I trying to say? Waiting with,
you gotta have fun at the bottom.
You gotta have fun at the bottom so the top can feel better.
Right.
Like, the top is gonna feel so much better if you don't want to look back and be like, oh, it was such a struggle back then. Like, I was doing it, but it was such a struggle. Like, no, you want to look back and be like, I was having the time of my life in this corner with this backdrop and a microphone that I just bought in front of my family, speaking truth to, it don't matter if 20 people see it. I was having the time of my life. That's what you want to say. And I'm super excited about that. And I hope y'all are. So, first podcast. This is something that's been in the making for a little while, and I'm excited to be able to share my heart with y'all. In the future, we're going to be talking about so much. I didn't want this to be long because, it's just a little intro or whatever. But in the future, we will be talking about some deep stuff. Okay, we will be talking about, we may shed a few tears. I'll have some special guests. I'll be talking about current events. And I will be just sharing my heart on a lot of matters. I will talk about my faith, whatever. It's going to be a great experience. I thank y'all for tuning in. I encourage y'all, when you do listen to this, let that be the last time that you let fear hold you back. Honestly, go for it. Dream big, shoot for the stars. And you can always check yourself. Do a self-reality check by just saying, how am I handling my right now? What is my posture in my right now? Because in my future, I want to look and be proud of myself, that I didn't mope around, that I wasn't sad, that I wasn't fearful, that even if I felt that I didn't have resources or support from those around me, I still did it. Y'all, there's endless opportunities for us. What are we waiting on? We can't wait on ourselves to be perfect because we will never be. We can't wait on those around us to get it because no one will ever want it as much as you. And we can't wait on the opportunities to come because the opportunity is right now. Don't miss it. So I want to leave you with live wiser, love harder, and always remember, Black lives still matter. Bye.